Woman says, men don't care why we're single. They don't listen to us when we tell them why we don't want to date anymore.
Get it, butter.
Wow. Is it because men don't listen to women? Is that why a lot of men are single now? Modern day 2024. The supposed single male lonely epidemic, whatever.
Dusty.
But is it because we don't listen to women? We don't take in what they say and absorb their feelings and the things they say about the trauma they've experienced from the hands of men that they've dated before, okay? Is that why a lot of men are struggling to find a woman now? To be honest, some men aren't even struggling to find a woman. They'd just rather have a peaceful life.
Dusty.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about the real reason that women are choosing to stay single. Because lots of women are talking about it, but not many men want to listen to us. Not many men want to hear us. Not many men want to actually take in what we're trying to tell you. Now, sure, there are the guys that get it. Slowly but surely, the good guys are waking up and they're really seeing why we're choosing to stay single.
I understand.
Yeah, I'm getting it. I'm understanding why. I'm learning, you know, as a good guy.
Bullshit.
I understand why women are staying single.
I understand.
I don't think it's that men aren't hearing. I think men can hear perfectly fine.
No one cares.
I think some men don't give an F. And I think some men know that all of it isn't on men. They know that women have to take some accountability in why a lot of those women are single.
Always the man's fault.
And that's the interesting part. A lot of men can be accountable. A lot can lie, obviously, but a lot of men can be accountable. But a lot of men understand a lot of women won't be fully accountable for what they have done in terms of making anything go wrong. Because as usual,
maybe it's you.
It's always the man's fault. So yeah. So it's always with some salt when a woman's talking about
Fucking men!
Yeah.
And I have a lot of good men in my life, so this isn't for every man. Before some idiot wants to come for me and be like, you hate men.
Good.
No, I don't. I hate men like you that say that.
Oh my God, she hates men. She's a man hater.
I understand.
I'm a free woman.
You're a free woman.
She hates men. No, seriously. She says she doesn't, so we believe her.
I hate men like you that say that. And there's a reason why. When you have a bunch of women saying, we are choosing to stay single for this reason, this reason, this reason, that reason, and men turn around and go, oh yeah, well, you know, misogyny is not unreal. We don't even need feminism. You are the reason why we are single. You are the reason why we're choosing not to date. Because there are so many entitled men that are literally going around and saying that we do not need feminism, misogyny doesn't exist, all this BS, when we can literally, if you spoke to any of us, if you swallowed your pride for a second and listened to any of the women in your life that have dated, nearly every single one has got a story to tell about how it does deeply affect us and how misogyny is definitely very bloody real.
Spicy.
Okay, I also understand the term is just used recklessly now.
Misogyny.
If you're a man with an opinion, you're a misogynist automatically.
Misogyny.
There's no room to even speak as a man, you're just seen as a misogynist.
You're a monster!
Which is why I realized, regardless of anything that I say, it's what I'm going to be seen as anyway. Okay, real misogynists are actually hurting women right now, physically and mentally. Men that really play women along for years, using manipulative tactics. Men that really lean on and lean into women.
Men use women.
The point is, as a man, I know these men exist. However, I also know you can't convince a woman how bad a man is if she's, like, lost to the man.
Why? No! I can fix it!
Said it many times before. Women can choose to date whomever they want to choose to date. They can choose.
I am the table.
So the disconnect is coming from the fact that women should be accountable as well.
Suck it.
How they end up in these situations. Men can admit all day long, women control access to sex and dating to a degree.
You get no
Bitches.
Men control access to relationships and deeper connections like marriages and long-term stuff.
I'm lonely.
Nobody loves me.
Yeah, we can admit that all day long.
love me.
It's so weird when women expect men who are nothing like some of the men that they have dated. They expect those men who are completely different to want to what?
Save us.
Magically make those men be better, which is, it doesn't make sense.
Proper bullshit.
It does not make sense. One of the worst things women ever did was get rid of courting.
That's fucking ridiculous.
And I say women did that because even though a lot of men wouldn't like it, a lot of men would court if they had no choice.
Bruh.
If they had no choice, whatever. Men know this. Regardless of what men say, men know this. They're just happy that women are gullible enough to just
Bust that thing open.
Perfect. Might even enjoy it.
be so free and liberated now. It's like, yay, yay.
Hell yeah!
Do you know how much pussy you're gonna get, my man?
Word! All types of pussy.
Yeah, you love that pussy, don't you?
Black pussy, white pussy, Asian pussy.
All them flavors,
All
Chuck.
them different flavors, brother. I like them all. I like them
Chuck,
all.
we'll get some women to dome me up real nice.
That's right.
Damn, that's nasty.
That's a dark secret behind all of this. Men can complain about feminism and liberation. A lot of men benefit off liberated, free, busting it open women. The truth is, when they want something deep, that's when they hate all this crap, because it's like, I want a real woman, not a fun garden tool. Now I want a wife. I want someone that's going to be a mother to my kids. But if so many of them are liberated, then how's that going to work? It's a mixture of different things going on here, why a lot of men and women are single. If men had to court women properly, if hookups weren't a thing, a lot of the problems women have with men would not exist. Women changed the settings for what they require from men. Women let a lot of men in easier than other men. Thus, courting's no longer a thing. Why should some men court and some men shouldn't? Busting it open's fun. But when you're busting it open for everyone, it's like, is it really that valuable anymore?
Outstanding.
Does deeply affect us, and how misogyny is definitely very bloody real.
It is real.
From as young as, some women are from as young as 5, some even younger, but most of us will experience or start to experience misogyny from as young as 11. And then you grow up, and the only difference now is, before, in our parents' generation, a lot of those women just really wanted to be picked. They did not want to die alone because society told them that they couldn't die alone, because they wasn't a woman enough, because they had failed their job as a woman, because they were worried about not having kids, because they were worried about what society would think, and they found themselves in relationships with men where they was not happy just to be able to say they was in one. And the difference now is Gen Z and millennials are now not bothered about that.
Okay, to everything you've just said, can we admit that a lot of women, with their low self-esteem and low confidence, accepted a lot of things and men they should not have accepted? Because their fear of being single, and because men are going to continually shoot their shots at these women, they will just settle for what they deem as the safest option, wouldn't they? If that safest option is based around trauma because she's used to that,
I like the pain.
because of what she's grown up in, she's going to continue a cycle. For all the dating coaches, female dating coaches on the internet, few of them have actually realized predatory men shoot their shot the most. Men that want real commitments, they're more reserved because they want something real. A lot of women don't seem to understand that. They seem to confuse all of that and get it backwards. Men know that. This is why a lot of men can't be bothered, because deep down men know that. They see women jumping out the window and doing ridiculous things. Why are you dating him?
I want a committed relationship.
You say you want this, but you're dating that. It doesn't make sense.
Why?
So we understand a lot of women can't be bothered anymore, but a lot of men can't be bothered anymore either. And here's a gem that's going to completely go over women's heads. Misogynistic men can have the most game over women.
A lot of us are making our peace with the fact that we may never have kids. We're making our peace with the fact we may not ever be married, and we are so okay with it. And that's the scary thing. The scary thing is there is a massive epidemic of lonely men right now. But a lot of the women that are choosing want kids, but it's not worth the BS of being in a relationship with certain types of men, which unfortunately these days is lots of types of men. There are so many types of men that are like it. And for you to think that a woman wants to be in a relationship, wants to have kids, but she's still happy with accepting the fact that she may never have it because of the peace it would bring her, tells you a lot about the men we are encountering. When will the men that want to so badly be stubborn and not listen to us wake up? You are going to end up alone. You are going to be the old men in old people's homes that are left with no family because you're so stubborn you won't listen to us.
Now, when I hear women talking, wondering what men are they talking about? They're saying there's so many types of men. What men are they talking about?
Dirty, musty, crusty men.
Dusty.
I continually wonder, are they talking about the men that have hurt them and they see continually hurting women? The random millions of baby fathers that are just making more and more single mothers. Those men. The point amongst all of this is those men won't even take the time to even listen to what she's saying. So I get her point. The men she hopes to change for the better of society, they're not going to change.
I don't give a fuck.
They're used to the way things are right now. Again, to agree how many bad men there are, bad men. But it's like, a standard has been set for these men. A standard that's continuing to happen. Again, women don't seem to understand. Some of the men running through most of the women in the dating pool are some of the most misogynistic men. The point women miss is because a lot of their desire is wrapped around these men. They, for some reason, can't fathom that these men would actually be misogynistic. It's weird. Sit back and notice. Women would think because they like a man that there's no way he could be misogynistic, which is actually quite dumb when you think about it. But feelings, desire. Oh yeah. It rules so many.
You are so stubborn and so concerned with being right that rather than listening to what women are telling you we have problems with and that we need, basic stuff like listening to us, using empathy, helping out around the house, understanding that being a mother for most women is a full-time job, and then we're expected to have jobs on top of that. Understanding that us going on a date with you and you being a gentleman usually means you expect us to put out, or if we're not expected to put out, we're expected to pay halves. So therefore the complete old school gentlemanly side of things going straight out the window, and some women want that and they're allowed to want that. And the other thing as a man is, if you don't like that, if you want her to pay halves, you are allowed to choose to not date women like that. Adult, how are you surviving by yourself? When you are living by yourself in these flats, how are you surviving if you can't cook and can't clean? Most of women actually are very maternal, and a lot of us want to do those sort of things, but we don't want to do them, especially if we're quite independent, especially if we're quite ballsy. We don't want to do those things for somebody we know can do them and is choosing and pretending to not be able to do them. Use empathy. Stop using weaponising competence. Stop trying to pressure us into doing stuff. If you understood that most women go into anything physical with their emotional mind first, you would realise that if you were just a little bit nicer, a little bit kinder, took a bit more of the stress of us, we would want to do a lot more of those things with you.
It's not that men don't care, but women expect the wrong men to care. When the whole point is they're wrong men because they never cared to begin with. That's the point.
Get it, but they don't listen.
Have a nice day.